Alright, this is my new toolbox. I built it myself out of pine, scrap pine actually, from a show. Just standard 1x10 from Home Depot. The case itself is pretty simple. All the joints on the back here are finger joints. Cut those on the table saw with the jig that I made. I'm going to talk about the front in a little bit. I'll do that next. But on this side, this board had a pretty bad crack in it, and I didn't want to just throw out that portion with the crack in it, so I cut these butterfly keys and inserted them. I don't know if 2 is actually better than 1, if it makes it more stable, but I figured it couldn't hurt, so I threw 2 in there. Alright, so moving on to the front, this was sort of an experiment for me in different techniques and methods. I did a lot of engraving. My beautiful wife designed this family seal, I guess, and I just got a new Dremel tool from Dad, so I figured I'd work on my engraving skills. So I'm push in a little bit and see if we can see some of the veining in the leaves. Might be able to. I added some checkering inside the H itself, just for fun. These knobs I turned out of a chunk of old dowel rod, 1.25" dowel I think. Don't have a lathe, so what I ended up doing is inserting a smaller piece of 1/2" dowel right up in here on the inside, and then chucking that into a drill press. And then I went at it with a chisel, and it worked out pretty well. I don't know if you can see, they're not exactly the same size, but you know, they're fine for what they're doing, for the purpose they serve. On the inside, I've got the drawers sort of arranged by type of tool that's inside them. So on the top one there are my measuring tools: squares, plumb bob, compass, bevel gauge. Got a stud finder in the back, which is rarely used for theater work, so that's why it's in the back. I've got all of these tools shadowed in 1/2" foam. It's actually a camping pad that I got for $6 maybe from Walmart. But I've got all the tools cut out, or the outline of all the tools cut out, so they nest in there and they stay in there nice and tight. So that's my measuring drawer. Middle one here is all my pliers. Only problem with this is these are all the pliers I have, and they take up the whole drawer, so if I ever get more, I'm going to be out of luck. But for right now, this is what I need, and it's working pretty well. And in the bottom drawer, I've got all my screwdrivers and screw bits and things for turning any kind of screw. Up here in this corner, I've got some Torx and a Robertson and little screwdrivers that I don't use all that often. Let me pull this out a little bit more. Ratcheting screwdriver there I rarely use, but I keep it in there because you never know. Allen keys. Got my little mini precision screwdrivers, which I left in their case rather than trying to cut out a slot for each individual screwdriver in the foam. I figured it'd be easier just to have the case and be able to pull it out if I ever need it. Same deal for all these bits. This is a DeWalt driver index, and it works great for holding little bits and keeps them in order, so I figured why not use what's already been manufactured instead of trying to build something new. Down here I've got my drill bit index. Same deal. Just the thing that they made works, so I'll use it. And that's it. When I first built these drawers, they were super sticky. However, I read online if you melt down a votive candle and brush it on to the drawer slide itself, it creates or it reduces the friction, and it seems to work out really well. They slide with very little effort. And that's my new toolbox.